Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on the success of the initial launch of Daredevil Born Again. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So last week, Disney released the first 2 episodes of a brand new series called Daredevil Born Again, which is like a continuation of the classic Netflix series Daredevil, and sees Charlie Cox return as Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. Fantastic series, really love it. It's a fantastic show. If you haven't checked it out, do so. But it looks like a lot of people have been checking it out because Disney has revealed that the first 2 episodes pulled in 7.5 million views globally within the first 5 days of being available on Disney Plus, and Disney defines a view as a total stream time divided by the runtime. And it's also the most watched Disney Plus premiere of the year, so bigger than Win or Lose or Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man or Goosebumps. But obviously we're only like halfway through March, so there's still a long way to go. It's technically right, but it's still one of the biggest shows of the year so far. Now, to put this into comparison with some of the other big releases of the year. So the first episode of Paradise, which was recently released on Hulu and on Disney Plus internationally, was watched by 7 million people for the first episode. That actually managed to grow up to just below 20 million over the next few weeks. So a lot of people have been checking out Paradise, and that's been a huge hit. They've already renewed that one for a second season. It's one of my favorite series of the year. You know, you got Paradise and Daredevil Born Again. Those are 2 fantastic shows to be checking out on Disney Plus. But yeah, so just putting it into comparison to one of the biggest shows on Hulu this year, Daredevil is on par with it. Now, when we're looking back at previous shows, for example, Agatha All Along, that pulled in 9.5 million views over 7 days. I've seen a lot of reports over the fact that Agatha was, watched more than Daredevil, and they're using 9.5 versus 7.5 and going... But there is 2 days in that, so we got to kind of, that would have brought down the Agatha viewership. I still think it might be slightly up. And there's no doubt about it that the continued kind of lower quality of Marvel over the last few years has meant that people aren't checking these shows out. People maybe aren't thinking of what Daredevil is. Also, it is a mature show, so therefore families and stuff can't watch it. It is aimed at a different audience than Agatha, so there is going to be that element in play. It's kind of weird. I think also the trouble is with like Marvel shows is I don't think it's really fair to compare the viewership to anything that came out during the pandemic, like WandaVision or Mandalorian. I think it's just an unfair comparison, and I would say that, and I think we're going to see that with every show. No show really is pulling in that same kind of viewership that they did during the pandemic when we were all locked in and we couldn't go anywhere. So that was kind of the only way of watching stuff. So this is a great debut for the show. We'll be interested to see what happens over the coming weeks ahead. Will it be on the Nielsen chart? I suspect it will be, and people are going to be checking it out. You're also going to have a lot of people coming in maybe later into it, especially with that deal that they've got right now for like $2.99 a month in the US to get Hulu and Disney Plus. I mean, you've got 2 great shows there that you could check out. But yeah, I think this is a good news. I think obviously they would have liked it to be more. People are going to pick it apart and go like, it's not as good as it used to be and stuff, and Marvel are going down and all the rest of it. But generally, when comparing against other channels and other platforms and stuff, it's kind of on par with a lot of the big shows that are coming out now. People are watching differently, and they're just not getting the big views that they used to. It's not the best viewership of all time. Let's not kid ourselves on that. It is still... much lower than it probably would have liked. But realistically, this show is much cheaper for them to make, and therefore they don't need as many viewers as, for example, on something like Secret Invasion. And they're already filming the 2nd season of Daredevil Born Again, which is good. And I think, again, this is just a cheaper show that they can make, and therefore the need to get as big a viewership isn't quite as bad. If you're spending nearly 300 million on a show like Secret Invasion, you need those viewerships to make it worthwhile. Daredevil's nowhere near that budget. That's a great thing about it. I love the series. I'm sure it's going to continue to pull in viewers. And again, the thing is with viewership, it's not just based just on those first 5 days. It's going to be based over weeks, months, and even years. This is going to be the long-term plan for Marvel to kind of get back into doing television stuff. So again, a really good premiere. Lots of numbers coming in. No doubt it could have been better, but I think, we're going to celebrate the win there. But let me know, have you checked out Daredevil Born Again? What did you think of it? Do you agree with the fact that, just generally, with the quality reduction of Marvel over the years, it's pulled people out, it being for adults, and also just, maybe people just not even being aware of who Daredevil is. But nevertheless, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.